After a tsunami of coverage, Marjorie Taylor Greene is ready to officially file a motion this week to oust Speaker Mike Johnson.
Okay. Now we have Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats coming out, embracing Mike Johnson with a warm hug and a big, wet, sloppy kiss. And they are ready to, they have endorsed him. They are ready to support him as Speaker.
I can't unsee that image. But turns out the other party may save Johnson's gavel.
Is it an honor for Democrats to back you?
Look, I haven't asked anyone to do that. There's no, there's no exchange of anything here. They're doing that spontaneously.
Tommy, are journalists back to kicking Marjorie Taylor around because they think that Mike Johnson showed courage in getting through the aid to Ukraine and Israel bill, which they also favored?
Listen, I don't like what Speaker Johnson did with that Ukraine aid package with no border security. That infuriated me as a conservative Republican. But I will say this. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, what are you doing? You can't do this without a replacement. We've seen this song and dance before. We have seen this dog and pony show before. Right now, the left is self-destructing in front of our very eyes. And there are some Republicans that are sitting back and saying, hey, guess what? Hold my beer. Let's see what we can do on our side. No, 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 no. I understand the frustrations here, but now is not the time for the firing squad against fellow Republicans. Now is the time to let the left eat its own tail, not the right to start going after one of our own again. If you've got discrepancies, do it behind closed doors, have your discussions, voice your grievances and frustrations. But to do this again when the left is imploding, now the right wants to implode on itself, what are you doing?
Well, Juan, journalists used to treat MTG as a kind of a space cadet. And then they all wrote these sort of strange new respect stories when she became a key ally of Kevin McCarthy when he was Speaker before that ouster. And now, boom, she's a fringe character again?
She is a fringe character because, I mean, I think she's on the far right of the right. But the story here to me is something Tommy was just picking up on, which is you watch the media coverage of this. We're here on Media Buzz. And what you see is that people are either playing up this story or not playing up this story based on which side of the political spectrum they're on. Because if you're on the right, you say, wait a minute, let's talk about the student protests. Let's argue that they're not about what's going on in Gaza, but anti-Semitism, all that. Let's look at all this chaos on the streets and attach that to the Democrats. Now, the worry, as articulated by Tommy, was on the right. Wait a second, we don't want more stories about dysfunction in Congress, given that Congress is so unpopular anyway, but Republicans failing to get anything done, instead attacking each other. Let's move on. Let's just keep the peace there. But there's lots of angst going back to the failure of the border security bill that had been backed by Republicans and then defeated because Trump didn't want it passed during an election year, to now you saying, oh, after Kevin McCarthy, they're going to get rid of Johnson. It only takes one vote. It looks like shenanigans.
Well, Tommy, even some Republicans oppose this coup attempt precisely because Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has said publicly, has made clear that the Democrats are going to try to save the Speaker. So the media are portraying what the Congresswoman is doing as a kind of a kamikaze mission.
Yeah, and again, what's so frustrating to me here is we don't need to be doing this to ourselves. This is not the time, fellow Republicans. This is not the time to be doing this. But my frustration is with a few of these Republicans that I might agree with on certain points is that they seem to want more media limelight. They seem to want more social media influence, and they actually want to influence the country in a positive direction. And it drives me crazy. If you want to be an influencer, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, sell a FabFitFun box. But if you claim to be advocating for the American people and the conservatives around this country, what are you doing that's any better than what Speaker Johnson did? Because you're taking our time and attention from real issues to get social media and to get media spotlight. That frustrates me.
And let me just say, from the Democrats' point of view, the Democrats have an opportunity now to portray themselves as the adults in the room, in a dysfunctional room filled with people who are finger pointing and trying to be social media influencers.
But let me ask you this one. Why would Congresswoman Greene go through with this if she's going to lose anyway? Because Tommy kind of teed up my question. Is it because she's back to building her brand through social media, which often involves saying outrageous things and getting attention, and doesn't particularly care what the press thinks?
I think she doesn't care even what fellow Republicans think in the whole. Again,
Most Republicans are not with her on
Exactly. I
this.
was about to make this
Sorry.
point. Most Republicans are not with her. This is not a representative of the Republican Party in the Congress of the United States. This is a representative of people on the fringe. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has 3 other Republicans who will support this. She's not going to win, but she will get lots of press attention, and it will damage the Republican brand, in my opinion.
Yeah, except that, you know, it's possible the Democrats can't pull it off. They're going to try to table this motion. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I must say, if there's any precedent in my adult lifetime for one party saving the job of the other party's speaker, not on a piece of legislation or something, saving the job of speaker, I can't think of it. Maybe it happened in, 1812 or something. Tommy Lahren, Juan Williams, great to see you both. Still to come, some MSNBC stars worrying about getting the boot.